Man, y'all already know who it is. It's Yada, just not a dope interview with real life street stars.
Real life. If that shit ain't real life,
it ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Everybody start clapping right now. Yada in the building.
Black King in the building.
Black King in the building. Black excellence. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing excellent, brother.
Man, now, you went viral because you had a conversation with a young brother about going 50-50 with his partner. Before we get into that, though, what brought you to that enlightenment? What about your life? What about what you've been through brought you to a place where you could say, you're supposed to be going 100 with your woman? Give us your start.
Okay. Now, first we have to understand, brother. We haven't properly been taught how to love a woman, take care of a woman, nurture a woman.
Facts.
So when I realized that the woman's role given to her directly from God is to nurture, I didn't just give her children to nurture, I gave her businesses to nurture. Amen. So I removed her from the work field, put her in a home, an environment of peace and love, and then gave her a business to nurture. And within that first year, I made $1 million.
That's crazy.
So now I have to give the game. I have to give the game because a woman's a helpmate. She's not supposed to be in the field working with us. So brothers get it confused. They think that a woman working with them is a helpmate.
Yeah, we do get that confused.
But that's a woman doing half of his job. Helping you and doing half of your job is one thing. So I'm here to just give brothers the real tools and tell them we've been lied to, we've been confused. And that's why a majority of men that's going 50-50 with women, that's been going 50-50 for years, is still stuck in the same predicament.
Right. And so we're going to delve real deep into that. Right. And we have a lot of questions, but a lot of people, the first thing they're going to say is, well, what qualifies him to even speak like this? So I want you right now, we're going to go through your history, right, briefly, but I want, the people that are watching to understand who we're talking to, right? Because you're a great man, you've done great things. Right. So let's start, who are you? What is your name? Where are you from? And what do you do?
Okay. My name is Yadan Yada. I'm a biochemist. I also create natural supplements. And when it comes to relationships, I believe myself, I have mastered it because I follow the teachings of God.
That's dope. That's dope. Now, when you say a biochemist, how long does it take one to actually, become a biochemist?
It just depends because I studied in Senegal. Yeah, I studied in Senegal, West Africa. And I know you said you were from Nigeria,
yes,
also
sir.
West Africa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I studied out there and I put a lot of work in, man. Years, brother. Years, brother.
Yeah. So this is the one thing, right? Because this is the one thing I want to know from you, right? While you were in that journey of actually becoming a biochemist, and I think this is where a lot of men, right, we go left or right. While we're pursuing something, you have to be focused. Right. And women can be either a distraction or they can, help, right?
For sure.
When you were pursuing your dream, right, as a biochemist, I can see that being used as game, girl. I can see it going both ways. So how did you deal with that? And what was your mindset when you were going through trying to become a biochemist?
The mission. I completely focused on being the man that I needed to be so that I could choose the woman that I wanted. Because if I would have picked a woman through my struggle, I would have picked a woman that wasn't fit for the man that I'm currently becoming or became.
How did you know what man you needed to be?
I saw the man I didn't want to be.
Oh.
I saw the man I didn't want to be, so I became the opposite of that.
So would you say then that you know what your purpose was in this world?
Nah, I can't say I knew my purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, not in the beginning.
Okay.
But when I truly found myself, when I came to an understanding, awakening of who I was divinely, that's when things started to change, brother.
How did you get your spirituality? Your spirituality?
I traveled.
Okay.
South America, different countries in Africa. You know, I traveled.
For a brother who is not blessed enough to travel, and he's having a hard time finding himself or his purpose, what would you say to guide that brother?
He has to understand the things that he loves. Really come into a divine understanding of what he loves, understanding how to properly love himself, understanding how to elevate himself mentally, physically, and spiritually. Just really stepping out of the matrix and stepping into his mind and understanding himself.
Because, and I feel like a lot of the disconnect has been, a lot of brothers don't know themselves,
right,
and they don't have any spirituality, or they don't have any that type of divine guidance.
Right.
And when you don't know a purpose, you just look for purpose in people.
Right. But see, the thing is, it's not the fact that they're not looking for the purpose. It's the fact they got distracted.
Right.
They got distracted from the purpose, and the purpose is themselves. Whatever a man chooses to be, if it's rich or a bum, he chose it. So a bum can become his purpose. You know?
So let me ask you this question. How many kids, and we're going to speak for African-American kids, how many kids do you feel like are affected by not having a father figure in the home? Do you feel like that is the leading cause of us not wanting to assume our roles? Or what do you feel like is the biggest factor in the fact that men don't think like you think?
A lot of men weren't properly raised correctly. You know, we got that slavery mentality. You know, the man on the field, the woman on the field, the child on the field. Now the black man saying, I'm not going to choose a woman unless she's on the field with me. So now the man has picked up that slavery mentality. We become slave masters to our women. We sleep with them, they cook for us, and we work them. We something like pimps.
That's crazy because it's crazy because we just had an interview, right? There's a lady named Priscilla Queenmaker, and she's under the belief that men basically can't. We have the inability to love a woman the correct way. She feels like we only choose women out of necessity, like, you know, hey, she can cook, she can clean, and that's a void in my life, so I'm gonna pick her as my mate. What do you say to that?
I say that's a woman that hasn't dealt with a man that's properly healed. You're dealing with broken men, you're gonna get broken things, but when you deal with a man that's healed, you're getting a whole different outcome. But majority of the women that's talking about men that hasn't healed aren't healed women. Because healed women would attract healed men, and healed men attract healed women. So the woman that would have spoke on that, I would have asked her, are you broken? What type of daddy issues do you suffer from? And this is the real conversation that most people want to avoid. They want to run from themselves. But you have to understand, anywhere you go, you'll go.
Yeah. Now, I got to ask this question too. For a lot of us, right, didn't grow up with our fathers in the actual household, right? How long do you think it takes for a little kid that turns grown to actually find himself as a man? Because as a kid without a, you know, daddy, father figure.
Brother, truth be told, most men don't. And that's why you hear people sound like Charleston White when he responded to my video. That's a lost, confused man going through his second childhood. He hasn't lifted himself mentally, physically, or spiritually. He's trapped. So the only thing you have to offer is your body. You sound like a prostitute.
So let's go. Let's get into it. You was here at the Charleston White interview. Let's talk about the clip that went viral.
Now, I did ask the question. Now, the clip that was shown versus his full thought, I believe that was missed. He actually, after the laughs and the joking, he actually had a full thought that he presented, and I'll show it to you. But I believe that there was some validity to that. His stat was men aren't valued unless they can bring value. So basically saying love is conditional for a man. If you cannot provide and protect, then you're not valued as a man. So, and I believe there's a little bit of truth in that. When you're a man, you have a choice to either be of a provider and protector, or you become invisible to me. And I think that was more of his, the first part was more funny, and that's what everybody gravitated to, but that was a really meaning to what he said. But no, I feel like when men aren't seen as valuable unless they can do X, Y, and Z, and that's a man's job, which is provide and protect. Now, that is your job. That is your God-given duty. But we don't all come into that, you know? And that's what I feel like that's the start of, like, you don't come into being able to provide and protect, and you don't always come into that before you meet somebody that you feel like you love. You know, sometimes you meet a person in your struggle and you feel like that individual might be the one for you. So what are your thoughts on that?
Brother, when a man becomes valuable, everywhere he stands, he brings value. So if we understand that our given right is to provide and protect, that's what we must do. And when a man's unable to do those things, he's not a man and he's useless. Even in war times, we need men that's able to shoot. I don't need a man with no arms. You're useless, brother. Now, when it comes to a woman, she's born with every egg that you'll ever need to give birth. She's born with value. She's born out the womb with her children. Now, we have to understand that her mother held her in the womb and she held her children. So even her mother holds the grandchildren. This is just the value of a woman. She is the tree of life. She must be protected. She must be provided for. She must be guided, and she must be loved. Because if we don't do these things, we see broken men. Because the woman is the divine nurturer. Now, when you remove the nurturing, you don't get a provider and protector. You don't get that. When a woman is on the battlefield, you don't get the love. Because it's a love that a woman can give to a child that a father cannot, because it's part of a woman's body. It's part of her body. Yeah. That when she's pregnant, it doesn't come from the man. It comes completely from her. That's why a woman's intuition with her children is godly.
So let me ask you this question, right? So what do you say to the man, right, who actually does provide, right, 100%, right, but feels like his woman is ungrateful? How should he then move?
That's not his woman. If you're providing a woman's every need and she's still treating you like you're not doing nothing, that's not your woman. She for the streets. Let someone else come pick her up. Continue to focus on yourself, because when a man starts to elevate himself, he's going to attract the woman he needs. If a man is attracting a woman he don't need, he hasn't become the man he needed for himself. Because we project these things.
So I want to, okay, we were on the mission of you, right? So I want you to take us through your mission, how you got to this place, because I'm sure you didn't think like this your whole life, right? No. So you're going through, and you're going through your studies. Take us to the transition of you finding yourself and realizing this message that you now preach.
Now, first I had to understand what a man was. I didn't understand what a man was. I seen a lot of boys trapped in men's bodies. And in my neighborhood growing up, they weren't men. We had mothers, grandmothers, aunties, and sisters raising knuckleheaded boys. So if you have nothing but feminine energy, trying to teach a masculine man, that masculinity goes away and that boy comes feminine. Or should I say toxic masculinity? Because when a man doesn't know how to move like a man, he becomes toxic to himself and everything around him. So I looked in my neighborhood, and then I started to travel the world. And in the most poverty-stricken countries like Senegal, the men work. The men do the sewing in these shops. There's no women. Where you see the women at? In the home. And this is poverty, strictly poverty. But we over here living it up. Most men got 3, 4, 5 women. They're not in polygamous relationships. They just dizzling and dazzling. You know how this goes. Yeah. But we're taught that's what a man is. But these same men grow up 60, 70 years old. Now they're in an old person's home with a stranger beating on them, stealing from them, and not even wiping their butt correctly. See, me, brother, from what I do and how I treat my woman, I know I'm gonna die a very happy man, very stress-free. So I traveled the world and I've seen how men with no money still provided for their family because they knew that it's a divine arrangement that comes from God. America and Americans and Black Americans, they're confused. They don't even know what God is no more, brother. They don't know. They think that having sex and talk about how big their penises are is something amazing, which it isn't, brother, because we've become prostitutes. We've become slave masters, not just to ourselves, to our children, and to our women.
So again, so you're on your journey, right?
Yeah.
And you travel the world, you see it.
I see it.
At what age is this? I'm curious.
Man, I'm traveling the world early 20s.
Early 20s, okay.
Early 20s, I'm traveling the world.
Okay. And you see this and it clicks to you. So now I'm gonna put this out there. You're a biochemist. As a Black biochemist,
Right.
I'm sure they own you.
course.
I'm sure they throwing at you. So in this situation, are you saying I'm gonna only try to focus on bringing a wife, or are you like, man, I'm running through them? Like, what was your mentality?
Man, I'm a builder. I can't build now with a side piece, brother. I don't even know how.
It wouldn't have been a side piece
It would have been an appetizer.
Right.
I need the whole meal. I need the mind, body, and soul. I don't want just the body. I put too much work in just for the body, and then we don't know what this body come with. And I'm not just talking about physical diseases, but energetic and mental diseases. Now I'm picking up this woman's habits. Now I'm fussing and I'm arguing and I'm becoming just like her. No, brother, no. When a man becomes a man elevates everything around her. I want a woman I can elevate on each and every level. I done put in real work. So why waste it with a female that the next man can get?
So basically you're saying you were able to attract that because you became whole.
I became who I needed for me. I didn't have to choose from the bottom. I chose the woman I wanted. That's a different form of loyalty. That you don't have to cheat when you got a woman you want and she want you too. Yeah. Come on, brother.
Yeah. Okay, so boom, you're doing your thing. You find, the love of your life. Y'all get married. Give me 3 to 4 tips, right, in order to keep a woman happy, in order to keep a happy home, right? They always say happy wife, happy life, right? Is that true? What are your tips?
Happy man, happy life. The man has to be happy within himself. My happiness can't come from my woman. My happiness can't come from my job. My happiness can't come from my children. My happiness comes from me, because if my children's not doing right, my job's not doing right, my woman's not doing right, it's not gonna sway me back and forth. So if I'm happy, I control the level of happiness for my woman, and my woman controls the temperature within the home. So if I'm good, she's good, the children's good.
That's good. Okay. All right. So good words to live by. So I want to throw a couple scenarios at you, right?
Let's get it.
And I just want you to tell me, how you would move.
Okay.
It's tax season.
It's tax season.
Okay. So it's a couple slimy young heathens out here trying to use women to come up. Sure. What would you tell them in that?
Would I tell the woman?
Let's go both. What would you tell the young man who's plotting?
He's confused. He lacks guidance, and he's trying to be like those he's watched or heard about. And the women, truthfully, cut them off. Throw them to the corner. Because if a man that asks you for your money knowing you have children is a problem. You can't trust a man like that. And majority of the time, them brothers don't bring no money back. They might bring back some hickeys.
Scenario number 2. Young man making about 100,000, right? But his girl making about 10 million. Yeah, his girl making 10 million.
Okay.
How should he move?
What you mean?
He's feeling. He might feel
whatever a woman makes is her money, brother.
Yeah.
Come on, a woman, and I'm being real. A woman cannot respect a man wholeheartedly that she has to take care of. It's impossible, brother. There's no kingdom with 2 kings. It's impossible. I'ma play my role, you play your role. I like my woman soft, brother.
So what I'm saying is, in this scenario, she, even although she's making way more, that does not mean
But
he
it
can't
don't
afford to
change- it
take
don't
care of
change,
her.
Bro, it just changes nothing.
Yeah.
It changes nothing. A man has to stay and live within his means. Hey, baby, this is all I can afford.
Right.
Now, if you want to add something on because you choose to, you're choosing to do that. But me, I got this. But this is all I can afford.
So what about, let's say, a couple, they both make about 40,000, right?
40,000 piece.
And they say, hey, let's put our money together so we can get out of this bad environment.
Right.
What do you say to that
Of course.
scenario?
Of course. Now, if y'all working to become one and move forward so you can elevate your whole family, yeah, I'm with that. But if you need a woman to make sure you're good, you will be homeless without her. A lot of men don't understand that. If this woman said, I'm done with you, you can't even afford your own home by yourself. You can't even afford your insurance by yourself. You can't even afford your groceries, your lights, your water bill. Come on, man. That's not a man. That's a boy trapped in a man's body.
What about the young man who makes money, but nothing is in his name? He just chooses to put everything in his woman's name for whatever reason. I mean, maybe his credit is bad, or maybe he has a felony. Well, how would you tell him he needs to move?
A man that has nothing in his name has to build credit. Brothers, you have to build credit. Cash is king, credit is God. Y'all have to put things in your name, especially if y'all out here dogging women. A lot of you men out here dogging the women, you putting stuff in their name, and then when they run off with your stuff, you and your feelings, you set yourself up for failure. A man has to own. A man has to own.
Now, I want to get into the video, right? And you have a Yada Awakening is the channel, right?
Awakening, yes. On YouTube.
Yes, correct. On YouTube. Definitely go subscribe. Dope content. And I watched, again, all 3 videos. So I'm going to get into the one that went viral. Okay. You sat down with a young man, a younger man.
Yes.
And you were speaking from the aspect of the man who've been through his shoes, and I'm telling you how to get to my position.
Right.
And he was speaking from, I think, a lot of people, right, where they're at the bottom, or they feel that they're at the bottom, and they really ain't trying to hear nothing because you don't know what it feels like, although you're telling me you know what it feels like. First thing I want to ask is, how did that interview even come together?
I'm sitting there and we building. And
So this was like a real,
it's a real live conversation. We built. It's not scripted. It's not edited. It's a real live conversation. And I'm telling the brother, you want to get to where I'm at. This is what you must do. And he got offended, which happens to a lot of men that's stuck at the bottom. They're emotionally hurt.
Yeah.
They're emotionally hurt.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed about that video was it was a lot of anger. It wasn't even necessarily at you, I don't think. I think it was the circumstance, right?
Right.
And I feel like, and I'm gonna touch on domestic violence here in a second, all that. And I feel like a lot of black men, right, we hold a lot of stuff in because we don't know who to go to, we don't know who to talk to, and all that good stuff. But you could literally see it coming at you in the video.
Facts.
What do you think that's from?
Childhood trauma. Childhood trauma. We are stuck in the situations we're stuck in because as children, we weren't given the proper tools. We're thrown into this world with no blueprint, and they're saying swim, walk, run. We have to be guided. We're guiding ourselves, and it's broken.
Yeah. So when you seen that go viral, right? Because it went viral everywhere. It was just like the talk of the town.
Right.
And men and women were on both sides of the fence, right? I mean, you just seen it. It was like one of the first conversations I seen that I could see both angles.
Right.
Initially. Yeah, and then when I watched the longer form clip, I completely understood where you were coming from. But what was your reaction to some of the comments that people were leaving as far as, on both ends?
Okay. The women that agreed with going 50-50 with their men are women that's never had a real man. So they don't even know what it means to be a real woman because they were taught by broken women, which are the mothers. The mothers, first thing they say is don't trust no man. You have women being groomed not to trust men. Have children with them, marry them, but don't trust them. That's why women say, I gotta get my own money. And then you have the men that just watch their mothers work so hard. That's all they know. They've been wired to see women work, and not just work regular, work harder than men. So even though it's at one point in time it wasn't normal, we've seen the dysfunction for so long. Now the dysfunction has become normal.
I've always thought that maybe when a woman chooses or is adamant about going 50-50, it's because she doesn't want to relinquish any type of control. And a man goes with that because it's not about control to him. It's about where am I going to stay? If a woman doesn't want to relinquish control, what should she do what should she look for in a man to become comfortable in the fact that it's okay for me to accept that his guidance and, you know, his finances and his ability to lead?
When a man is truly dwelling in his masculine energy, truly, and this means you understand the woman on a mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and also a financial level.
Right.
When a man is whole in himself, a woman submits naturally. She was created like that. The fact is, men are doing 50% of their job expecting a woman to submit like he's doing 100%. It don't work like that. Women don't have to be masculine in front of masculine men. It doesn't work like that.
Now, I watched a clip that the young brother, he was like, I can ask my woman to go make me a sandwich and she gonna turn her face up. But the dude at her job could say, I need you to go stack these boxes. And she says, okay.
Of course.
What is the disconnect you think is when a woman says, even though you're providing, you're doing all the things you're doing 100%, I still feel like, I don't want to make you no sandwich, or I don't feel like picking all your stuff up today.
The thing is, most men that think they believe that providing financially is enough.
Right.
It's not enough. There's men with millions of dollars right now doing everything, getting cheated on with the milkman. Dude working at KFC.
For sure.
Because even though he don't have the money, he knows how to connect to her emotionally.
And that, you know, and that's somewhere that we need to talk about. How did you effectively connect with your wife's emotions?
By understanding myself.
Okay.
By understanding myself.
But see, you know, and I feel like I've had a pretty good grasp of myself here lately. And there's just some things I don't understand what a woman does, or, you know, why she thinks like that. So does that not surprise you now, or it's not
the fact that I can predict what she's thinking. It's the fact that I'm aware when something's not right with her. And then I can say, baby, what's wrong? And I ask that in my home about 20, 30 times, baby, what's on your mind? How you feeling? You good? I'm on top of my job, brother. See, this is what a man does. I can literally wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, get me a freshly cooked meal. Most men can't do that. When I walk in the house, my children run towards me. My woman stands up to greet me. Because it's not just the money, but mentally, emotionally, intellectually. Men have to be able to teach a woman. Knowledge is our value. A man becomes knowledgeable about how much he knows. A man becomes powerful by how much he knows. The true wealth is mental.
Now, why do you feel like men are so aggressive when it's time to be taught that? Like with the gentleman you were trying to speak with, and you were trying to tell him, and I felt like the message was, your message was valid in what you were trying to tell him, but you were met with aggression. Why do you think men are so aggressive about being providers?
Because he's a masculine man that picked up feminine ways, and it's clashing. And that's what you see. A man acting like his mother, but more masculine. He picked up feminine ways.
This is what I gotta ask too. I would say that there are a lot of men, right, that would love to take care of a woman, right? But I'm not saying every woman, but there are some women that never seem to choose that man. What do you think that is? Like, because, you know, you'll see her and she has the pick of the litter, but she chooses the person that doesn't provide or doesn't take, but she's going off of maybe pure emotion or attraction or lust. It's not that.
She's going off of the synthetic power. He looks tough. He looks strong. He acts crazy. They're going after the synthetic power when the real power is the men over here with the knowledge. Because eventually that synthetic power gets snatched away. He's in prison. He's in jail. That's not real power. This knowledge he holds in his mind can never go nowhere. That's why when he's gone for 10 years, she done aged 10 years. Now she want him, but he don't want her.
Thanks. So, like I said, it's interesting, right? You had the clip, it go viral, right? I'm curious, what changed for you after that happened? Did you see a lot of men reaching out to you just to vent, just to speak? Because again, I think one of the biggest problems we have in our community is that we just, as men, don't have an outlet. Like, we got homeboys that we probably don't even know what they really going through. Like, men just keep everything so close to the vest.
We have outlets, but we don't know how to express our emotions. Right. We don't know how to talk about them. We're taught to be strong. Men don't cry. We hold things in. No, that causes depression within men. And that's why when you look at black men, majority all of them that's walking around tough with tattoos and they facing guns on their way are suffering from great forms of depression and thought about killing themselves. That's a man that don't understand himself. And most of the time, this is a man that was not raised by a man. We never seen a man be a man.
Hold on, but you didn't answer my question. Where is the outlets? I'm sorry. When you went viral,
right?
Did any people hit you up, and what were some of the responses the men were coming at you with?
Emotions, anger. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna punch you in your mouth. I'm gonna piss on you.
Really?
What?
That's wild.
I'm talking about totally disrespectful. Totally. In my mind, so all I said was, provide, brothers, and provide for the woman that you say you love.
And you were very respectful too.
Come on.
I can see where, I can't see it, but I know it makes a man mad when he can't.
Right.
Especially,
It makes a man mad that he can't what?
Can't, period. Like, I can't provide, I can't protect, I can't get.
No, but see, if that really made them mad, they would figure out a way to do it.
For sure.
They're complaining. They're lazy, brother. I know a heroin addict, right?
For sure.
A heroin addict with no arms, no legs, but always stayed high. How is that possible? No legs, no arms. But this is a full-blown man. He talking about he can't provide. There's no money out here. Come on, man. And there's a 16-year-old kid making $20,000 a month off YouTube. Come on, somebody lying.
Somebody lying.
So, go ahead.
Now, we have a thing called the Passport Bros.
Man, listen, brother. Hold on, brother. I gotta put my head down for them brothers, man. These brothers are some of the weakest men on the planet Earth. Those were the fat kids in high school that couldn't get no women in their school. So they had to go somewhere else and pretend to be somebody else. That's what them dudes are. They're buying prostitutes, brother. That's all that is. They're prostitute buyers, man.
Yeah. You and Charleston would agree. Now, do you feel like submission plays a factor in race?
In race?
Yeah. Because a man will always say, I'll go over here and get, she gonna X, she gonna Y, she gonna Z. See, I don't feel like submission plays a factor when you deal with race. I just feel like a woman is naturally gonna submit to you when you show that you're worth being submitted to.
This is the thing. It's the fact that when you can take a little bit of money over here and take it over there, now you're the provider.
Right.
Now you get the submission. But that little money over here don't go nowhere, and you're not getting that submission.
Now, what I was, okay.
Why do you, and I don't see, this is what I don't see in a lot of other races either. Our men, we harp on the topic of submission. You don't never hear a black man really say he want anything else. I want a woman that's going to X. You never really hear a black man, I would just want to be loved.
Because we always want the stuff we don't deserve. Mama, I want the chocolate cake. And I want it in the morning before school. No, you don't. No. This is what we want. We want that chocolate cake, that beautiful woman, but we don't deserve it. Huh? And then we call out her name when we get in our feelings.
Now, I watched the video you had. You had another video where I think it was after the video, and you were kind of explaining stuff. And you said something that was interesting. You was basically saying you would be with man meet woman and they get married right out the gate, right? Explain that thought process.
Say that one more time.
You were saying basically you would be almost like an arranged marriage where man meets his woman and they get married quicker. So that way it's out the way and you know your role, you know what it is, you go provide for that woman. What is your concept behind that?
When a man, I think the men are not understanding that these women are theirs, like really theirs. And that's why I believe men should get married. And it shouldn't be a dating process. When you're right, when you're able to take care of yourself and another comfortably, go marry your woman. Don't date, don't waste no time. Don't try to have sex with her. No, marry her. Now she's your responsibility and she can elevate whatever you got going on. Pass her a business. Now she's your wife. She knows when you win, she wins. So she wants to make sure you win. But I'm not talking about some female you just met off the streets. Marry a woman, fix yourself, marry a woman, have children, start your business. This is what men need. We need things to make sure we're responsible. Women make men feel responsible. They make us, they force us. And when we can't get forced and we can't take it no more, we run. Oh, she too hard. And this is what the men here in America, especially black men in America. And I don't care if if their parents came from other countries. If they came over here and got westernized, man, it's over. It's over.
What is the biggest difference you see in American versus, like you said, you was in West Africa, values in general?
The men are different. The men here have been broken and they don't realize they're broken. I say, brothers, you should do 100. They say, no, I'm gonna do 50, but I'm still 100% a provider. How is that possible?
You know, the wildest thing I seen in the comments, because the young brother said, you know, I want to believe he referenced to, you know, she works and then she has to come home and take care of the kids. And then a woman in the comments said, you're not even doing 50 if she has to get off work and come home and take care of the kids.
Let me break down this math, and this is vital. This math is vital. A man is 100% provider. When he's unable to provide 100%, the woman picks up the slack.
Correct.
Now, the woman is not just picking up his slack, but doing hers. So she's picking up the slack of a man. That's 50%, right? Providing the woman. 50% nurturing. So she's 50% provider, 50% nurturer. Who picks up the slack of the woman? The child. Now, the child is 50% a child and 50% a nurturer. Now, the child is nurturing the siblings. Man, 50%. Woman, 100%. Child, 100%. So a man that's going 50% with his woman, it's like a man's not even there. Because if that man left, the woman would still be 50% provider, 50% nurturer. The child would still be 50% child, 50% nurturer. The man is the only one comfortable in that equation. And that's why he says, no, Yada, don't tell him the truth because I'm comfortable.
Right. Man, that's some crazy math. Now, monogamy. A lot of men don't believe in monogamy when they have access to funds. Where do you think that idea comes from?
I don't know, brother. I have 2 wives.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I completely.
we understand now. We get it, Yada. Well, how did you meet your second wife?
I got 2 wives, you know, brothers. I'm a Sufi Muslim. Okay. Yeah, part of Tijanis. And I have 2 beautiful, amazing women. I have one woman that nurtures my company here, and we've made it into one of the biggest supplement companies in America. And then my other wife, she nurtures the trucking company and the schools that we have in West Africa. So I'm blessed. Now for the men that hear me and be like, oh, he got multiple women. Brother, I don't cheat. I take care of mine. If one lives in a mansion here, one lives in a mansion there. If one drives a nice car here, one drives a nice car here. It's very expensive. And I tell brothers, just because you have the money, if you're not here mentally, you'll be depressed, you'll be distressed. So we can't just be financially prepared. We have to be mentally and spiritually and also physically, because you gotta have children, prepared. So diet is a must.
So there's no scenario in where any of them get jealous?
Never.
Or you just, okay. So
when you are a man completely, you understand how to lead. And my first wife allowed me to have my second wife. I wasn't just saying I got money, I'm picking another woman. No, and they had to make sure they were great, and they are. All praises.
So how did that conversation go? I'm just curious. Like, hey, baby, let me holler at you real quick. What did you say?
I was doing business in West Africa, and I'm like, man, I'm always traveling back and forth. I need someone that I can really trust here. And me and her talking, and I was on the phone with this sister. After the second conversation, I said, would you like to be my wife? She said yes. So I put her on the phone with my.
You applying pressure.
Without a question. No dating, no nothing. My first wife too. No dating, no nothing.
Oh, straight in,
because I understand the type of man I am, and I know I'm only going to attract the type of woman I need for my mission. No arguing, no fussing. Man, I'm blessed, and they're both pregnant right now.
Oh, man.
All praises.
All right. So many more questions just popped in my head.
They gonna be real mad. Hey, you thought that was mad before, nigga. You gonna have to get a bodyguard.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like you look happy. Like I've never like this is the, like yeah. You like yeah. So would you say that life brought you even more happiness with the second wife, or is it just abundance on abundance? Is it just on joy on type of joy? Like,
hey, bro, I was just talking to my wives earlier today. Before I came, they want to give y'all some shouts outs as well.
Shout out to them.
Hey, but bro, I'm talking about, man, these women have elevated my life in ways I can't even understand, and that's why I'm pushing this message so hard. Stop being 50-50 because you're robbing yourself. Because when a woman's able to nurture and she has an environment of peace, man, come on, it's nothing you can't do. Nothing.
What do you say to the men, right? Because there's going to be somebody in the comments, I just know it, that's going to say, well, it sounds like you're having it your way. They might look at it like you're using them, and you're not 100. How can you be 100% with two different women?
But that's a man that knows himself.
Yeah, because that'll make you 200.
That's a man that knows himself. You know, I take care of both mentally, physically, spiritually, intellectually, and financially. They're at peace and they're happy, man. And again, I'm thankful. I'm the one that's blessed to have them.
So yeah, because I was gonna say, you know, I'm a person that likes to move fast. So you're cool. You're actually on board with the moving quick.
I'm Aries, man. I'm going in. What advantages have you seen with that approach? Because I'm sure this hasn't always been your approach, right? So what advantages have you seen with straight up putting it on the table versus the other way? Because I don't have to wait. Now I don't have to wait a year to see if she's for me or not, if her goals align with my goals. No, this is what it is, what you got. This is what it is. We can make this happen.
But how does one be able to? Because for men, I know men that have been with their woman 10 years and ain't got married, ain't pulled the plug yet. There's always something that they might be up 1 minute and all of a sudden an argument makes them feel like, I don't know about it. So what is it that gives you that blind faith to be able to say, I know you are the one? Is it a feeling? Is it?
I have a purpose for my family. Like everything I do is for my last name. Yada is my last name. People think it's my first, but it's my last name. Everything I do is for my family, and I'm thinking 30, 40, 50 years ahead. So I have to make sure the woman I put on that throne is gonna be a queen. I don't have to worry if she's cheating. I don't have to worry about if she's stealing money. And yes, my wives have access to every bank account I have. They own 50% of the companies that I own. That's the only 50% I do. We going 50-50 on a company where you can put your name on that. But that's all we do. But man, I'm telling you, to have a woman that truly loves you is a blessing from God.
Man, it's live. I'm not gonna lie. One African, yeah. Is the one in Africa African?
Yes.
What are some of the things that she's been able to? Has she been able to teach you anything about the culture, about the holistic?
Okay, this is what's going on, right? Africa, they have the family, they have the structure, they don't have the money. America, we have the money, we don't have the family, we don't have the structure. So I was able to see the structure. oh, aha, this is what you do, and this is how you do it. When a man gets the structure of a family, he won. He won. When a man truly understands that structure, he won. Because your family is your assets.
Yeah. Now let's get into the medicine and the holistic approach that you have going on right now. So tell us about that company, what you're doing. You know, you're a biochemist, right?
Right.
How did you stumble upon, you know, building what you've built now, which is, what is it that you've created? The supplements?
An apple of Eve, which sells out, man. Majority of LA Lakers be cleaning me out with that product.
Can you explain what that product is?
Yes. So I've traveled the world and I've created apple of Eve, which consists of things that feeds every cell in your body while removing cellular waste. My mother had bone cancer, brother. And I gave my mother the supplement, also changed her diet, cleaned it up, made her vegan. Her bone cancer went away. You know, I had kidney issues, liver issues. I was highly obese, brother. I was about to die at one point in time. But I changed everything and I got on the supplements because we have to understand our bodies, and that's something we're never taught.
Help us, because I feel like this, right? And me, I'm diabetic, high blood pressure, right? And I have to go to the doctor a lot, right? So I'm always constantly, you know, I know what the status is of my body, but then I'll see somebody, right? And I'm like, oh, they got high blood pressure or something. Like, you can see it, you can see them, but they don't know it. What do you think is the biggest problem with the way we're eating right now, and what should we be changing?
The biggest problem right now is we're eating food that has no nutritional value, that's full of chemicals and toxins, that's ripping apart our liver and our kidneys. When you can look at a man's eyes and see the yellow in his eyes and be like, oh, he's not an alcoholic, but the food he's eating has gave him a fatty liver. If the food is causing the same thing that alcohol causes, we're being poisoned. And we're being poisoned on a large scale. But you know, black people, man, we love some food.
You know, I love the McRib.
The whom?
The McRib.
Okay. The McRib?
Yeah, the McRib.
Okay. Talk to me about the McRib, brother.
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But I know it ain't real.
Okay.
Why do you think we have this, like, addiction to things that are harmful to us? Like, what is it about that? Why can't we get on the bandwagon of eating healthier?
It's the delicious suicides, brother.
Amen.
And the food is highly addicted. You don't like the McRib, you're addicted to the McRib,
I'm
brother.
addicted to that motherfucker. For sure.
These are death houses.
Yeah.
We're eating food, and then you talk about it's not even a pig. We don't even know what it is. What is it?
I don't know.
But when you start to do the science behind it, you start to realize this meat isn't meat, but a bunch of chemicals that's created in a laboratory. Now you're stuck, brother. Now you got a head growing out your butt. You're not understanding why you got a head growing out your butt.
Right.
It's the McRib, brother.
So I got a question, right? How can one kick the sugar habit, right?
Right.
I think they say cocaine and sugar basically the same DNA molecular structure, and it's like it's addictive as the other one. So there's a lot of people that are just addicted to sugar. How do you kick that habit?
You got to do it just like a drug addict. You're gonna have to go through a detox, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt severely, brother. Sweats, shakes, mood swings, stomach problems, might be a little vomiting, but sugar. It's the unnatural sugar, not the sugars that we're getting from fruits, brother. It's a difference. Because we're talking about sucrose, isolated, by itself, very toxic, break down the body in ways we can't even understand. Now we're talking about high blood pressure. We're talking about kidney disease, liver disease. We're talking about autoimmune diseases. We're talking about losing your memory, Alzheimer's. Come on, brother. Type 2 diabetes. We've been poisoned and we love it. And that sugar is addictive. And the only difference between sugar and cocaine is the hydrogen atom. That's it. Just one thing out the formula changes sugar and cocaine.
That is crazy. What are, again, back to your supplements, right? So what are all the supplements that you sell? What are like the top ones that you sell?
The top one is apple of Eve, which feeds every cell in your body while removing cellular waste. That's a global phenomenon. Like we can't even keep that in stock.
How does one get to this product?
They can go on my website at theworldsgreatestrejuvenation.com. They can also visit my Instagram at yada_awakening or my Facebook at yada.
Okay, and then is there anything like that you would say that someone should do before they get on these supplements, or they can just start taking them? And like, how long does it take before to detox your body out and get right?
I say you should take a supplement regardless of what you're doing, because if you're eating food that's not good for your body at that cellular level, the supplement will add in what you're lacking because we need the nutrients. We're eating foods with no nutrients. That's why you see a lot of people overweight but malnourished. But when you go to third world countries, they're skinny and malnourished. We're overeating, but we're eating foods with no nutrition.
Got you. What would you say? Just give me a basic diet of what we should be eating daily.
We should be eating fruits and vegetables high in water content. I created a diet called the Watertarian diet. And it's great for those that just want to lose weight. It's great for those healing. It's great for women that's pregnant, or it's great for an overall diet. But it's time for us to let go of this devil food, brother.
Such a good food. So addictive. Now, there's some hot topics out here in the world, man, that I think we just want to kick around a couple things, right? Mm-hmm. You got Will and Jada, right? One would assume that Will is providing. Well, I don't know about protect, maybe not. And then you see his woman kicking his back in every time she gets the chance. What is that?
That's a man that's not moving in his masculinity. She's more masculine. Women aren't masculine in front of masculine men. We're looking at money, we're not looking at the overall. Men say, I'm providing everything. No, you're not. Money ain't everything. She disrespects you, brother. She don't respect you. Something's wrong. You're missing something.
When do you think we started making money our God?
As soon as we get off the plantation, because that's the only thing that saved us.
Man, go and get them kids back. Kidnapping the kids for Thanksgiving, boy. Golly. Yeah, they going crazy. So, you see a situation, right? With the Diddy situation, right? Diddy and Cassie, right? And then you see the stuff that she puts out, the allegations, right? And then you see Diddy settle the next day. And then you don't really see anybody speaking up either way. It's like everybody is just hush hush. I'm curious, what do you think about like when people are in the industry, right? It's kind of like how they were saying the Black Lives Matter. If you see a bad cop and you don't do nothing about that bad cop, you're just as complicit. Do you feel like if people knew or know what's going on but are saying nothing and are watching women get raped and getting taken advantages and things like that and aren't saying nothing and they're rocking with it because of their power or money, do you think they're just as wrong?
Of course. A man that stands by and sees a woman get raped or anybody get raped, it's just as bad as the rapist. We have to stand on principles and morals. Now, I don't know Puff Daddy personally. I can't speak about him on any shape, form, or fashion.
Right. We're just giving the concept.
But a man in general has to stand on principles and morals. We just forgotten what it means to be a man.
So what is can you give us your definition of what a real man is?
A real man is one that understands who he is and stands on the foundation of God. He elevates all things around him, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. He understands things emotionally, but first he understands himself emotionally. He understands that all things first starts with himself and everything else is a projection of himself.
We had an individual who we interviewed, and he said a man also has to have the proclivity for violence.
Say that again, brother?
He has to have the proclivity for violence. He has to be able to tap into a violent nature, so that if there arises a situation where altercation might happen, he needs to be able to handle that. Where do you stand on like a man having to be able to be violent?
Whoever said that has no clue what a man is, brother. A man is a man. A man is a protector. I don't have to be violent or tap into any violence. I can chop your head off with a smile on my face because I'm a protector.
Right. Amen.
Is part of being a protector having a weapon, a gun?
No.
In order, because a lot of people I think when we hear words, I don't think people delve into them, right?
Okay, so let me give you an example, right? You can protect her with a fist. A man comes to your door, you protect her.
Right.
But emotionally, you don't protect her. Emotionally, you're cursing her out, yelling at her, screaming at her. You just left her emotionally unprotected. Now that's when the man with no money slips in, hey, baby, you're beautiful. Hey, baby, you smell good. And that's all it takes for her to get this NBA player's wife. I know some.
Now this is what I want to ask you. How many blue checks are in that DM since then?
What do you mean?
And do you and are you thinking about making a blue check? When I say blue check, I mean the celebrities.
There's a yeah.
They're slitting. Would you entertain a third wife?
I already talked to my mom. I talked to my wives about that, and I told them maybe some years down the line, because I don't marry for sex. I'm married to expand my lineage, my legacy. Now I'm on 2 different continents.
What is our obsession with sex, you think? Why do you think we put so much value in it? Why do you think it makes us feel so important?
Because a lot of men and women have never been loved as children. So we can lay with a woman, even if it's for 5 minutes, and she makes us feel loved or makes us feel powerful, That's why we do it, brother. Mm-hmm. It's not the sex itself. It's the feeling that we get from sex. And I'm not talking about that sexual feeling. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about that, oh, I'm the man. What's my name? Yeah, all that.
Yeah, for sure. I've had a woman that could do that. I'm not lying to you.
Right.
But so how do we draw on a power that has nothing to do with that person in a relationship? Like you said, your happiness, you create that.
Right.
How did you learn to do that?
By understanding who I am. And that's why I said a lot of men only argue the 50-50 thing because they don't understand that they're 100. Mm-hmm. They don't understand that you're not getting with a woman to feel whole. You're good with a woman to elevate everything you got going on. Right. Children, businesses, whatever it is. When a man truly falls in love with himself deeply, nothing else matters.
So I want you to hit on the points that you were giving the young man, because there was a lot of stuff that people probably missed in that. Mm-hmm. But there were a lot of valid points that you were trying to say. One of them, you said that you had to kind of like your woman helped you become a millionaire by you getting an extra job or doing something in order. Can you hit on those points again for the people that might have missed that?
So when it came to my woman, for me to provide, because in the beginning I didn't have all the money. For me to say that, I'd be a liar. But I lived in my means. I took care of my woman. I paid all the bills. And then I started to create my company. And then I gave her the company and said, baby, nurture this. I'm gonna make sure you're good, you're at peace. But I want you to nurture this company while I'm tackling everything in the world. And she did that. And that alone, we made our first $1 million together. First million.
Had she not been able to do that on her own, would she have been less valuable to you?
I don't choose women for love. That's the problem. Most men are choosing women for a temporary emotion. And that's why divorces are so high. I choose for business. Family is business.
Got you. And then one of the comments again that he got offended by was basically saying if you are going 50-50, you're not a man. I think he took offense to it. But you were saying basically that men are taught how to talk to each other. Like we're not supposed to take offense to when a man is trying to give you some game. Mm-hmm. Explain that, because I think a lot of times, like you said, men get real emotional when they hear certain things and they get triggered real easy, and that's when the pistol play.
The only thing that can trigger a man is the truth. If we know a man is a provider and a man is unable to provide, what is he? He's a child. He's a boy. He's not a man. You wouldn't look at your son and say, son, it's time for you to pay all the bills in here this month. No. No, you know that's your little man.
Yeah.
And when you tell a man, brother, you're supposed to be the sole provider, and he says, no, I'm not, well, you're not a man, because a man's a provider.
What would you say? Do you limit how much you provide, and so in order to not spoil the said child or woman, or is it just, man, hey, whatever y'all need?
The woman is spoiled.
Got you.
The woman is spoiled, because you gotta understand, you can't outdo a woman. If you love, I'm talking about a good woman now, brother. Yeah. Not a regular woman, a good woman. You can't outlove her, you can't outspoil her, you can't outnurture her. No, man. We have to give our women what we want in return.
You know, past all the whatever clips or whatever, I wholeheartedly agree. I've been on a journey to become that provider, become that protector. After I seen what I was giving myself, what I was giving to people that I dealt with, and what I was getting back from it, there was no balance in my life. And I hope brothers hear your message and understand that if you are not able to give all you can give on this earth to whoever you deal with, then whatever you feel like you are, you're really not that.
You're not.
And until you can become that, then you probably should just stick your head down and grind.
Facts.
I just want to thank you for coming on the show, man. Give everybody your social medias and so they can tap in with you. And
Definitely.
And the best part, get that good word.
So we got YouTube, Yada Awakening. We got IG, Yada_Awakening. And we have Facebook, Yada.
We're going to go ahead and call you the 100% man. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like your message was needed. I know it's hard for brothers to hear.
Definitely.
And it's crazy because the thing that got me right is I've been on both sides of those fences. So when I looked at the clip, I felt both of y'all. I was like, man, I felt like that at one time. And then when I got up, I understand that point too. You know what I mean? So, for those who don't get it, man, you spend some real games.
Right.
Definitely. Not even that. When you're on the side of a 50-50 man, you're not even happy. I don't care what you tell yourself, what you want to believe. The moment you can tell your woman, you have not a worry.
Different. Different. It hit different.
It hit different. And if you're not striving for that, if as a man, then we don't really know what you.
Facts.
Amen. But
Facts.
brother, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Appreciate it, bro.
We glad that what got you here got you here.
From
ATL. Hey man, the Apple of Eve.
Yes.
Supplements. Go get you some. I'm gonna definitely get some. Because if I eat another McRib, we're gonna. And come back and holler whenever you get some time. Whenever you in Dallas, man, please come holler at us. The wisdom is always accepted on this channel. And here's the best part, Yada, you are a real life street star.
Appreciate it, brother.
Reallyfe street Starz. Know what time it is.